Welcome to Coach's Corner with Jay, featuring the Knowles head coach, Jay Sacosta, and our host, Lance LaFollette.
If you're around others that smoke, you are at risk.
Sitting behind someone who is smoking in a stadium for 3 hours is the same thing as a non-smoker smoking one cigarette. Riding in a car with somebody who is smoking with the windows rolled up for 1 hour is the same as a non-smoker smoking 4 cigarettes.
And sitting in the non-smoking section of a restaurant is just like smoking 1.5 cigarettes.
Your choice leaves us no choice.
To learn how to protect yourself and others from secondhand smoke, call Monroe County Tobacco Use Prevention and Control at 472-1677. For over 100 years, Bauer Turner Furniture has been serving our community with quality furniture and bedding. After a big day, kick back and relax in a dual recliner sofa, or choose from living room suites featuring couches with comfy armchairs or matching recliners. Then pick the perfect coffee table, end tables, and lamp to suit your personality. Of course, they stock bedroom furniture to please the country, traditional, or contemporary decorator. Kitchen tables and chairs, hutches, entertainment centers, and more can be delivered to your home this week. So stop by Bauer Turner Furniture today.
Good evening and welcome, Seminole fans. Another week in the books, and I guess the only way to describe it after last week's game is wow. Coach, congratulations on a big win. Win number 246 ties the all-time Ohio Valley record for coaches, and you were able to do it at your alma mater. Had to be a great feeling.
Well, it was a sweet win, Lance, in a lot of different ways. Number one, the fact that we're 2-0, and that's the most important thing. And as far as the record is concerned, as I told a lot of the news media, that'll take care of itself if our kids do what they're capable of doing week in and week out, and we prepare the same for each team no matter who it is. And but it was a big win. Anytime you win on the road is big, and especially against a team like Shadyside, who has a lot of firepower, and to shut their offense down to no touchdowns and very limited offense. I think they had 117 total yards of offense with a guy like Lewinsky throwing the ball and receivers like he has. That's quite a tremendous feat by our defense, and they played extremely well time in and time out. When they had their backs against the wall, they came up big, and we're just so extremely proud of them for doing that. We put together a little more offense than we had in week one. In week one, we struggled, only had 78 yards of total offense. This week, we put together about 220 or 30-some yards of total offense, which is not great by any stretch of the imagination, but at least we did put together some offense more than we did last week. And the big thing is, well, two things actually. Number one, we came from behind to win, and we did it with a 70-some yard drive, 11-play drive at the end of the ball game, with scoring with only 1 minute and 3 seconds left on the clock. So that's a tribute to our young men.
Well, I had a chance after the game. I hung around, talked to a lot of fans from Monroe Central, a lot of fans from Shadyside that I know, and Monroe Central people were shaking their head and saying, what a terrific job of the kids. The Shadyside people were shaking their heads. They couldn't believe it. Heavily favored. We talked about it last week. 10 scribes in the newspaper, and all 10 of them went for Shadyside. I think maybe we're starting to make some believers. The kids keep playing the way they are.
Well, I think our kids understood that they needed to prove something. As you mentioned, we didn't get a lot of respect, and people thought because of what Shadyside had coming back and what we lost, even though we won in week one, that Shadyside was going to have the upper hand. And our young men proved that wasn't the case, and they fought right from the very beginning, right till the very end, and I'm extremely proud of them. They know that game is special to me, and I think they stepped it up a little bit, and I appreciate that. And the fact is, that's history now. Now we got to turn our sights toward number 3 now, because that one's in the books.
Okay. We're going to come back and talk about this week's game, but before we do that, we have a couple stars of last week's game to talk to. First up, number 81, David Spielman, right after this.
Helen Keller once said, "Worse than being blind would be to be able to see, but not have any vision."
Francis Sonny Block wants to preserve and grow local business and encourage new industry.
We cannot change the past, but together we can shape our future.
He promises to serve all Monroe County citizens and meet the needs of every community.
If I was old enough to vote, I would vote for my grandpa.
Hi, I'm Bill Reesbeck. You heard me talk many times about how we offer you the best variety at the best possible price every day. And we do it with no cards, no gimmicks, no hassle. Just like you, we're working to get the most we can for the money we spend. So if these things are important to you, come home to Respecs. We'll even add customer service as we continue what Grandma started over 70 years ago.
Why buy it and store it when you can just ask Woodsfield True Value for the tools and equipment you need for your next project? Rent that auger, log splitter, 40-foot extension ladder, or pressure washer just in time for fall chores. If you need earth-moving equipment, hand tools, party supplies, lawn and garden tools, or stuff for automotive care, concrete work, plumbing, and so much more, help is just around the corner at Just Ask Rental, Woodsfield True Value.
We're back with David Spielman, number 81, a senior wide receiver, handles the punting duties also for the Seminoles. David, had to be an exciting win for you Friday night, senior year at Shadyside and come away 2-0. What can you tell me about that feeling?
Well, we was an underdog the first 2 weeks, and we knew we had to show everybody that we needed some respect. So we was pretty ready for the game, so we went out and did what we had to do.
Coach, and I talked, we were 0-3 passing the first week, and then this past week opened it up a little bit more. We're able to complete a few more passes, and you actually had 3 catches for close to 50 yards. What's your ideas on that?
Well, the first game we didn't really throw that much. We kept it on the ground, and the second game we had to open up a little bit because they had about 8 guys in the box. So we took a couple chances there in the first half, and we didn't really complete much. So then second half we threw a couple short passes and did what we had to do.
Okay, handling the punting duties. I know last year, you came along there and took the job from Gabe Gordon, who had punted for a couple years before that, and you've been called on a lot this year because we're playing a little bit more ball control, field position type game plan. How'd you come about the punting and taking that over?
Well, last year Gabe hurt his leg, and I came in, stepped up, and did what I had to do last year. And then in the off season, I went to camp up at Youngstown and learned a little bit up there, and then practiced during practice and everything, and just came a long ways ever since then.
Coach, David's sort of he only plays one way most of the time, but he's sort of a two-way threat, and that is catching the ball. He showed the other night some elusiveness, was able to pick up some big first downs for us, and then that punting, we've showed lots of highlights the last couple of years. Good guy to have around.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Lance, and David had some big catches the other night for us against Shadyside at a crucial time. I talked about us taking the ball and going 70-some yards on 11 plays in that last drive where we ended up winning a ball game, and David had some big catches there, and not only did he catch the ball, but he did a nice job running with it once he caught the ball. So he can prove a valuable receiver to us, and I'm sure we're going to give him the ball more in the future. You talked about his punting, and he has done a tremendous job for us punting, and people don't realize how important that is because field position is the name of the game. And David last year came in, took over, as you mentioned, for Gabe Gordon, and he time and time again punted us out of the hole and put the other team in the hole, and he's done that already this year. He had a key punt against Buckeye Trail, if you recall, in week number 1, punted them down to about their own 5 or 7 yard line, and then we were able to take over from there. He's just done an outstanding job, and that punting game is extremely critical. In fact, a lot of people, coaches will tell you the most important play in football is the punt. You have to have a good snap, and you have to have a good punter, and Chris Jeffers is doing the snapping, and David's doing the punting, and if those guys continue to do what they've done, that's going to help us tremendously as far as getting field position is concerned. So we've counted on him heavily thus far, and hopefully he can continue to step up and do the job.
Okay. Well, David, terrific job. First 2 weeks, keep things rolling for us. Friday night, get us to 3-0.
Thanks, Lance.
We're going to take a break and come back and talk with Tyler Graham right after this.
A good football team works together, helping each other to do their best. A good insurance agency works together too, showing you the best coverage for you and your family. FW Shoemaker Insurance Agency represents several companies, so you benefit from personally designed coverage for your home, autos, or business. Talk to one of their agents about all your insurance needs, including life insurance and annuities. As they continue to look out for your future, FW Shoemaker Agency is celebrating over 100 years of service. The Seminoles and FW Shoemaker Agency, two winning traditions.
When we first opened our doors in 1929, Marietta Memorial Hospital marked the beginning of a commitment to healthcare in our community. From the start, the vision of compassionate care has been the standard for all that we do. Through the years, Marietta Memorial has been a leader in our community with advancements in both patient care and technology. As we celebrate our 75th anniversary, we continue that commitment, working to make a measurable difference in the health of the community where we live and work.
Joining me now is number 22, Tyler Graham. Tailback on offense, cornerback on defense, return man, just about in on everything there. T-Bird, how exciting was Friday night's game to get down and get that win the way we did?
Oh, it was real exciting after we was down there once and didn't get it in, get the ball back and go down and score, win the game.
One of the questions we talked before we come on, we had a little bit of a change of look there. The last series, we started at our own 29-yard line, drove down the field, and then there were plays where actually the quarterback came out of the game, and you took the snap. Tell us about what that was.
It was a single wing offense, basically just snap the ball and try to get behind some blockers and have fun daylight.
This past week, week one, a lot of injuries or a lot of cramps, a lot of guys, had a lot of aches and pains, and we come back this week, didn't see near as much of that. What do you attribute that to?
Well, this week all the guys who had cramps did about everything possible to try to keep it from happening again. We tried to condition better and worked hard all week to prevent anything like that happening this week.
We come up against a guy like Eric Smolinski. He threw 33 passes, and just about all of them were, or well over half of them, I guess, were long balls. You're out there on that corner by yourself. What goes through your mind on this?
Just don't get beat deep and keep everything in front of you. Read the quarterback and go for the ball.
Coach, you had to be happy with Tyler's play both ways. He scored the winning touchdown, had some big carries, but defensively did the job too. Overall, just a great effort.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize or understand that this is only Tyler's second year out. As a football player. He wasn't out as a freshman and sophomore, and he came out last year, and we played him as a running back on offense and a corner on defense, and he started to improve as the season progressed and got better and better each game, and so we look for him to do some big things this year. Preseason, we had him in as a running back on offense and also had him taking some snaps and getting some reps at quarterback in case we needed him there. Defensively at corner, we figured he'd be one of our starting corners right from the very beginning, and he's now got enough experience that he's kind of a seasoned veteran, especially after last week. As you mentioned, 30-some throws by Shadyside. That works out the secondary, and he did a nice job staying back and doing a real good job in the secondary for us. Offensively, Tyler has got nice size. He's about 175, 80 pounds, and he's able to break some tackles, and he's had some big runs for us so far, and the season's young, and it's early yet, but he came up with a couple real big runs the other night to get us down, along with David's pass receptions, to get us down into scoring position that we could punch that one in. As you mentioned, we went to the single wing offense. In fact, we were down there one time earlier at the 9-yard line, and we had a little misfire on the snap. The ball went deep, and we had to recover it and then didn't score. But we got back down there again on a couple big runs, and he was able to punch it in for us, and that's exactly what we look for out of him. He can line up at quarterback, he can line up at running back, he can do a lot of different things, and I think you're going to see him continue to make some big plays for us.
Okay. Well, T-Bird, keep up the good work. We're at 2-0. Big game Friday night. It's home against county rival River. They come off a big win last week, so it doesn't get any easier this week.
No.
Well, good luck and get us to 3-0.
All right, thanks.
We'll be right back to take a look at some highlights right after this.
McDonald's of Woodsfield is not just great food and lots of fun, it's a vital part of our community. Perla and Dell strongly believe in supporting our kids, both in school and in extracurricular activities. That's why McDonald's is proud to be the exclusive halftime sponsor for the Monroe Central Seminoles. They're happy to support our players, cheerleaders, and band. After the game, celebrate at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Since 1887, folks have trusted Woodsfield Savings Bank with their financial needs. So when you need someone to lead you with your financial decisions, come to the friendly folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank where customers count. Because of your busy schedule, we offer a drive-through and night deposit box, as well as convenient parking, direct deposit, and automatic payments. The folks at Woodsfield Savings Bank truly believe that making an investment in our kids brings the biggest return to our community.
We'll start the highlights with Stephen Habig. Seminoles opening possession, picks up 10 yards up the middle.
A nice run here by Stephen. This is the inside give off the slot I, and you see Stephen breaks through and picks up some nice yardage here. Nice job by our offensive line.
Here, Jordan Wells, number 21, picks up 21 yards on a reception.
We're lined up in a slot I to the left here, and Jordan's the wide out, split end for us, and Dexter Hughes will drop back, take a short three-step drop, throw a nice pass out to Jordan Wells. He eludes the first tackler, and then they knock him down out of bounds for a big gain.
Stephen Habig again running the ball, this time picking up 8 yards right up the middle.
Coming off the left side here out of the wing tee, you'll see Stephen get his shoulders squared up here and does a nice job keeping his legs moving and shows some power, driving Shadyside tacklers forward for a nice pickup.
Here Dexter Hughes completes a pass to number 20, Sean Jors.
Sean's lined up in the wing to this side on the left, and he'll delay and then circle out over the middle. We get nice pass protection from our offensive line. Dexter will draw back, step up, find Sean over the middle, dump the ball to him, and he picks up some nice yardage.
Good picture here of one of David Spielman's punt. A lot of height on it.
We talked about how important the punting game is. In fact, the entire kicking game. And here David gets a nice punt off. He gets a nice hang time on this ball. And the ball is spiraling as it comes down. It's hard to handle. And Jovicic fumbles the ball. We got pretty good coverage, and they run him out of bounds. And thus we pin them kind of deep in their own territory.
Number 49, Derek Dudek, picks up a fumble and returns it for the Seminoles.
Here they have trips to their left, and they'll try to throw the ball out here to the left to DeVolio, and he catches the ball, but he's turned around and fumbles the ball forward, and Derek Dudek alertly picks it up and gets on it for a recovery.
Number 33, John Newhart, starts around left end, picks up nice yardage for the Seminoles.
Well, it was supposed to be a trap off the left side, and their end came hard that time, and we couldn't get the trap block, or couldn't get inside the trap block, but John alertly reversed his field, did an extra job, giving extra effort, and coming back to the right, nice pickup there.
Linebacker John Newhart makes a fine open field tackle.
And here they try to throw a little swing route to Jovicic on the outside to their right, and John Newhart reads this extremely well, and he's right there to make the tackle.
Second half action now. The Seminole defense comes up with the sack.
First half, we didn't get to him at all, Lance, and here we do at the beginning of the half, which is key. He's in the gun, but he pumps once, and we got people pressuring him all around. There you see Curtis Merrick, Stephen Habig, Eddie McConnell, Chris Jeffers. That's what you need. Put a lot of pressure on him.
A possible nominee for Play of the Week here. Nick Billman takes the interception back 40 yards for a Seminole touchdown.
Well, this is just exactly what we needed, Lance, and Solinski's in the shotgun again. He's got pretty good protection. He drops back, he throws the ball out to the left, and Nick steps in, perfect timing, and takes it down the sidelines, gets a nice block from Chris Jeffers there, and takes it in for the touchdown.
First time in his varsity career, Dexter Hughes gets to take off the football.
Here Dexter's in the shotgun, starts to his left, doesn't have anybody to throw to, so he comes back, sees a little opening, takes off running here, and just comes up a little short of the first down.
One of our guests, Tyler Grand, playing defensive corner here at the top of your screen, makes a nice play in the end zone.
Here Shadyside tries to go deep. Smolinski takes it to the end zone, and Tyler is right there and jumps up and knocks the ball away. Excellent defensive play.
Number 40, Victor Neville, recovers the Tiger fumble.
Yeah, here you'll see from ground level, Victor's always around the ball, and here he comes up with a big fumble recovery here and celebrates that with his teammates.
Number 81, David Spielman, catching a pass for a first down.
Well, here we're in the shotgun formation, and Dexter Hughes will roll to his right here, and he's got some pressure on him, but he'll step up and make the throw to David Spielman, finds him over the middle, and David cuts back and picks up a nice gain. Big play in that drive.
Here you have Tyler Graham lined up at the quarterback position. He makes a nice run.
Now here we go to a spread formation, trips to the right, split to the left. Tyler's the only back and takes a snap and runs a quarterback draw, eludes a couple would-be tacklers here, and turns in an exceptional run down the sidelines.
David Spielman starts this final drive off with the first down catch.
This is the second play of the 11-play drive that led to a touchdown, the winning touchdown, and here Dexter Hughes hits David Spielman on an out route, and he turns back to the inside, makes a nice catch, picks up extra yardage.
Tyler Graham this time taking the handoff from Hughes and picking up 16.
Well, Tyler had a big run earlier from the quarterback position. Here he's lined up next to Dexter Hughes, and Dexter will hand off to him and does a nice job moving inside and then breaking outside, picks up big yardage in that winning drive.
Another completion this time from Hughes to Spielman.
Yeah, here again we're in a slot I formation with a slot to the right side. David's a split end. Dexter will drop back and he'll find David open out in the outside flat area, and David makes a nice catch, holds on, eludes one tackler, eludes another tackler, and takes it deep in their territory.
Tyler Graham puts the Knowles on top with a 3-yard touchdown run.
Now we're lined up in a single wing formation here, direct snap to Tyler, and he'll go off the right side and take it in behind some nice blocking here. You see a big hole opens up and he goes in for the winning score.
Here we have Victor Neffel intercepting a pass and pretty much sealing the deal.
Now this does seal the game, Lance. They're in trips and a split out of the shotgun formation, and Swalinski throws the ball out here to the side, and Victor steps in front, picks up his second interception of the year, does an excellent job here, and the game's sealed.
It's time now for my Citizens National Bank Play of the Week.
Back at the 25-yard line. Seminoles in a 4-man rush. Swalinski downfield, intercepted. Tillman, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Monroe Central. There it is! Less than 1:30 left. 7-6 Shadyside. Seminoles 3rd and goal from the 3. Graham, left side, cuts back, touchdown! Tyler Graham. 1:13 left.
We'll be right back to take a look at this week's opponent, the River Pilots, right after this.
The Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield, home-owned and independently operated since 1933. Your community bank. Our officers, directors, and staff are dedicated to customer and community service. We reinvest your deposit dollars locally. So remember, banking with us is not only good for you, but it's good for your community. Citizens National Bank of Woodsfield, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Traditions, the handing down of customs from one to another, and Woodsfield's newest restaurant. Chris and Joe Hoff are keeping the tradition of great food and special recipes you've always enjoyed at the Marathon and taking it to their new location on the square. Traditions offers Chris's famous Caesar sandwich and marinated steaks every day. You gotta taste the rotisserie chicken and ribs served Friday and Saturday evenings. So start a new family tradition when you experience the new, relaxing, full-service restaurant, traditions.
What's that supposed to be? That's a car Spinky has always done. That's not a car, that's a piece of junk. I'm gonna with this hammer. Ow! Oh, brother. I have a great idea. You better donate Dome 4. Yeah! I'm not buying your chicken Ford!
I'm not buying till I check Dome 4.
The River High School Pilots come to town tomorrow night, 7:30 kickoff, and Pilots are bringing in a 1-1 record after a pretty handy defeat to the Frontier Cougars week 1. River came back and 29-15 winner over Magnolia, which I think surprised some people. Coach, sometimes that's a good thing when you're getting ready to prepare for a team and them coming off a big win like that.
Well, River's got a good football team. There's no doubt about that. They've got a big football team, and they are coming off a big win. We talk about our win last week, a big win over Shadyside. They're coming off a big rival win over Magnolia, which has been a back-and-forth thing for a number of years. And the thing about River is they're coming off a big win after sustaining a big loss in week number 1 against a strong Frontier team. So got to give their young men credit. After getting beat soundly in week number 1, they came back and put some points on the board and got a big win over Magnolia this past week. So they're going to be all we want, and they're going to be a tough group to handle, because I know they'll come up here and they'll be fired up and they'll play as hard as they can possibly play. They've done that the last couple years. Even though we've defeated them, our young men know that they've played extremely hard and extremely tough. In fact, you just have to look back a couple years ago. We had an excellent football team. We went down there and everybody thought that we were going to name the score, and it ended up 13-0, or that was at our place, 13-0. So their kids played extremely hard, and we didn't play very well. So we're going to have to step it up, and we're going to have to play real well in order to get number 3. That's for sure. But River is a big football team. They're a physical football team, and they like to run the football at you. And so we're going to have to be able to line up number 1 and stop the run.
Well, very similar to us in the fact that there's several key players going from last year's team, several new guys you don't know a lot about, and they're just getting comfortable with their position in the game, and starting off with a quarterback, I guess, new fellow there, and their feature running back's also someone that didn't get as much playing time last year.
Yeah, they've got a lot of new names in the lineup this year, and it starts with their quarterback, Casey Orendorf, number 3. He's a junior, 5'11", 150. He'll run the football. He's thrown and been fairly accurate when he's thrown. He hasn't thrown a lot, but he's found some people open. Their 2 running backs, or 3 running backs, that is, are kids that are all capable of carrying the football. Jason Wright, who is a transfer from Shadyside, played there for 3 years. He's a senior, number 2, 5'8", 187, real strong young man, and he'll run the ball inside a good bit. Cole Huffman is a halfback. Not a real big young man, 5'8", 148, number 34. He's a junior, but he's very quick. And the guy they like to go to and became a real big man in their offense last week was Jerry Potts. He's a senior, big guy, number 44, 6'3", 207 pounds, and he runs with a lot of authority. And he had a real good game rushing the football last week. Thing is, these guys are behind a big offensive line. Sean Oakey, their center, senior, 6'4", 275. One guard, Toby Willis, senior, 6'2", 210, number 51. The other guard, number 76, Wes Haslam, another senior, 6'2", 280. So you can see they got a lot of beef right in the middle of the line. Tackles, Corey Van Camp, 6 foot, 195, and Luke Myers, a senior, 5'6", 205. At the ends, the guy they like to go to in a passing situation is number 88, Brad Stalter, 6'2", 165, senior, and number 10, Ryan Garrick, 6 foot, 165. So that's how they line up offensively. Rushing the football, Potts has carried the ball 26 times for 93 yards. Wright's their leading rusher, 23 carries, 117 yards. Orendorf has 22 carries for 58 yards. Huffman 9 for 33. So they've spread it out a good bit on offense. Passing, Orendorf is 8 for 15, 161 yards. His big receivers offensively, as I mentioned, Stalter, 3 catches, 94 yards. Hendershot 2 catches for 61, Abbott 3 catches for 20, and Potts 1 for 16. So they kind of move it around a little bit with the rushing and also the passing. But like I say, they're big up front. They like to get their hands on you, wedge it out a little bit, so to speak, and just kind of push you down the field. And they did that against Magnolia and had a lot of success with it.
As far as defense, you mentioned 2 years ago they came out here and we won 13-0. Last year, I think some of the kids may have underestimated. That was a ball game till late in the game. We put together a drive to go up 2 scores. They always seem to play their best against us from a defensive side, too. They do anything different than what we've seen?
Not really. They're basically still a 40 defense, and again, a lot of the same guys, but they do have a few new faces in there that don't play on offense. Brant Sawyer's 5'11", 230, a down tackle. They run a lot of different guys in there. You'll see Haslam in there once in a while. You'll see Okie in there at a down tackle. You'll see Sean Smith in there. Jerry Potts, one of their running backs, is defensive end. Mike Kelly is another defensive end. Starr, Armin, Stalter, linebackers, and Orendorf, Huffman, and Hendershot in the secondary. But they play that 4-4, but I'm sure they're going to bring linebackers, and they're going to have a lot of people up on the line to try to stop the run because, you know, even though we looked a little better last week offensively and we threw the ball a little bit more, completed 8 or 9 passes for about 80-some yards, we still have to be able to throw the ball because they're going to stack a lot of people in there. So we'll see some games inside. And they got some big people up front, just like they do on offense, so that'll present some problems for us. But I'm sure they're going to try to stop the run, and we've got a lot of things to prove yet, even though we did pick up a little bit offensively last week. We got a lot of things to prove offensively.
Well, yeah, who knows what weather conditions might bring. You know, as of the taping, we're expecting some of the remnants of Hurricane Francis to hit the area. You know, games like that, normally you have to keep the ball on the ground and low-scoring affairs.
Yeah, whoever takes care of the ball the best and minimizes their fumbles or turnovers and keeps the ball on the ground and keeps it moving is usually a team that's going to have the best shot at winning.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a final break and come back and wrap things up right after this.
Monroe County Help Me Grow is fun and free to pregnant women and families with children from birth to 3. We provide playgroups where children learn to play together. Help Me Grow reaches out with a variety of services and information specific to each family's needs. Home visits emphasize child development, parent-child interaction, a developmental screening, and a newborn home visit conducted by a registered nurse. Call Help Me Grow, a division of the Monroe County Health Department, at 472-0852. We're more than a bank. We're more than a savings and loan. We're a part of your hometown, and we can offer you low rates on your next auto loan, home equity, or home improvement loan. Visit one of our convenient locations.
Community is our middle name, Ohio Valley Community Credit Union.
As we said, 7:30 kickoff. It's a home game. It's junior high night. We'll be honoring the junior high football players, cheerleaders, coaching staffs of that group. Probably around 6:45 that'll begin. So get out here early and support some of these young future Seminoles. Last week, the winners, Carrie Stoller had the 0-0. She won the first quarter and also the halftime score. Greg DeCula won the third quarter score, and Steve Ogle was our final score winner. So congratulations to those people. We don't normally announce a 50-50 winner or game ball winner for away games, but happened to hear the name Rick Sherman announced over the speaker at Shadyside. So congratulations to Rick, the 50-50 winner at Shadyside. We're not absolute at this point which radio stations might or might not be there, but the game will be replayed at 11 a.m. Saturday here on TV6, so tune into that. Coach, fantastic job last week, but it doesn't get any easier.
That's for sure, Lance, and we told our kids they did a heck of a job, but as we also told them, you can only enjoy that for a short period of time, and have to start preparing for your next opponent, and that's River tomorrow night, and hopefully our kids will be ready because I know they'll come out here fired up. They're coming off a big win. We're coming off a big win, and so, we'll have to be ready to play football.
Okay, well, as always, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. Good night, everyone.